Hi, gorgeous soul. Welcome to this podcast. That is gonna be not your usual podcast at all. It's gonna be a messy, playful, and chill podcast. It's gonna be like a podcast from a friend or a voice note from a friend that knows a thing or two about manifestation and achieves so much in her life that she just wants to share with you because she loves you. So I hope you enjoy. Those times where we are trying to take a leap into something totally new that we know that will be good for us because we feel it with our body, with our gut, with everything. And then this voice start to activate inside us, or like all the reason why this could be the worst decision in our life, why this could be wrong, all the way it could go wrong, and goes on and on and on and on. This happened to me like just this morning. I was wondering if to sign up to a mastermind. I was like, I felt it with all my body. That was the right thing to do. I felt it. I see how it felt to have done it. So I felt I almost like went in the future and I saw myself so nourished, so happy and so wealthy in the other side of it. So with all my body and my soul, I know that was the right decision, but my mind started to play out with all the worst case scenario, right? And I feel like life is like this in so many ways, in so many other circumstances this happens. This is not just with a big decision when it comes to sign up for a mastermind. It could be saying hi to the person, sending that email. It just your mind goes into two ways, not or like the worst case scenario or the best case scenario. What could happen after this action? What's gonna happen after I do this, right? Because the way to our ego is trying to protect us is just projecting all the possible situations, right? So when we act, we know what's gonna happen, right? So we try to predict the future, but sometimes this predicting the future is kind of limiting us, right? Because the way we predict the future is through our past, right? We can predict the futures only by things that happened to us until now. And some of these things are even not reality, they're just distorted reality, right? Maybe they're memory from my childhood. I'm talking about myself because it's my story as well. Memory from our childhood, something that a teacher told us, or a friend that shared an experience with us, and we internalize all these things. And these things become like our law, our reality, and our way to move through the world, right? But today I was thinking, what if we start to change things around and start to think about all the things that could actually go right? You know, what if we change things around and we start to think about, we become like this super detective where we start to just look for proof of how things can be amazing and how things can go right, right? So I invite you from today to think this way. Like whenever you feel like there's a dream that's knocking at your door, but you're always pushing it away because all the logical ways of the world are telling you that that's not the right way to do things to do. You should not think about that because it's not realistic, all the stuff. What if you started to think about that time in the past where you were so afraid and the usual voice came to visit you and to tell you all the reason why you shouldn't do that and you did it anyway, or because you wanted to, or because the universe kicked your butt, because that's the way the universe does things. If you don't listen, eventually it's gonna kick your butt into action. So, do you think about that time in the future where you eventually did that scary thing on a way or another, and how all the amazing things that came out of it, the the person you became, all the blessings, all the miracles that came after it, and you start to almost kind of wishing that, like, being so grateful for that bad thing that happened to you, right? Like that inconvenience that happened to you, that push from the universe that where you really didn't want to move. You were uncomfortable, but you were also comfortable in a way. You didn't want to kind of make the leap, right? But then the universe push you over the limit, and you jumped, and amazing things happen. So for me, is when my son was born. When my son was born in 2016, actually in 2015, I was I went on a career crisis. Oh my gosh, so crazy! Like one of the worst. I started to question myself. I was working in a jewelry shop and I was being like the best seller. I was earning good money, but I wasn't really happy. Like it was, I'm not even a diamond person. I don't wear diamonds or jewelry. Aside from my wedding ring and a pair of stud earrings I bought for my maternity. So when I went to maternity, I have so much time to think about things, and it was just so much loneliness. It was just me and my son most of the time, and I was like really starting to see my life and question things and decision. And I was like, what do I want my son to see when he grows up? What do I want him to want to teach him, just for him when he looks at my life and what I've done so far? And I wanted to teach him that dreams can come true. And so far, I wasn't really a good example of that because I was just there because of convenience. And of course, I was really proud of becoming from a, being an immigrant, wearing selling on a nut kiosk in London, not almost not speaking English, to becoming a top saleswoman in a jewelry shop. But I was really proud of myself. But I've been working there for 5 years, and that wasn't really my dream job. It was just for the money, and yeah, so it wasn't me. My dream job was to become an artist since I could remember, or to be a creator. I was like, should I do this jump? Should I just go to uni and see what happened? Start graphic design and see what happened. And I did. And it was the best decision. And of course, it wasn't like super smooth and easy. As I told you, the ego, we try your its best to tell you not to do it because if you tell yourself to stop, in my case was like, oh my gosh, 3 years of your life, gonna waste 3 years of your life studying graphic design. You're old. You're like 31 years old or whatever. You're too old. And all things like that, you know. You don't know anything about Photoshop. You don't know anything about drawing really, like you didn't draw for years, you know, like who you think you are and stuff like that. But you know what? I was like, no, I choose to listen to my body, and my body and soul is screaming for me to get out of my that shell and to become the person that I was meant to be all along. And I did it. 3 years after I graduated with the maximum of the grades, you know, like top grades, I landed a job in the Times, and I had an Instagram account called Noharanda after Noah. Um, I think when I finished university, I had 30,000 followers, which is not bad for 3 years, you know. Oh my gosh, thinking about it, life is crazy. So can you, it's like, it was just a decision made after death and rebirth because it was like such a dark period, you know, the maternity period for me, like because I really started to really question my decisions and stuff. And just getting out of that massive comfort zone that I created for myself, where it was okay at one point, but then it was time to evolve. So, and sometimes forget. We tend to forget all the milestone we achieve. I'm in a container with this amazing lady. She's like giving us prompts every day, or like to think about. And this was only one of the things that she asked us about breakthroughs and quantum leaps. And oh my gosh, this came to my mind, and I was like, wow. And you know what? We're always trying to move forward. We're always trying to overachieve, to create the next step, to do the next stuff. But we sometimes don't realize how amazing we are and all the amazing things we did. And when we have this like voices telling us that we are not able to do things, that we everything will fail, or that it's not worth it, and who do we think we are? That's who we think we are. We should go back to that winning, like that victory, or that moment in our life when we had that voice telling us that we will not be able to do it, and we did it and we succeed. So my invitation for you is to become that super detective that start to see all the amazing things in your life, all the reason why you could succeed, because you're no different than me. We are this like if I succeed with as an immigrant in a foreign country with a crazy childhood, in another foreign country that was Italy when I grew up there, in a super poor family and stuff. Like if I succeed with all the stuff that I got against me, you can succeed as well with whatever that your story is, right? So I hope this audio that is a bit longer than usual inspire you. Sorry about that. It's like I don't know, maybe it could be still a coffee break, like 10 minutes, right? It's like a long coffee break. I hope this audio inspire you to just go after the life you want and just to invite kindly the ego voice to just sit down in the back seat and just take the be the driver of your life because you're the author of your life and you can really decide how you want to program your mind instead of just let any everything else program your mind. So from today, decide to choose, decide to start looking at what's really working and go from that space and see what happens. Bye.